going on, legends? I know it's been a few weeks, and the reason is that we've been waiting for all this to come in. Sticking with the budget build that this is, ordered a heap of stuff from the Full Drive Supercentre. Rooftop tent, set of drawers for the rear. I went with the Dominator winch, set of wings for the rear drawers, an annex wall, as well as a 6-person annex for the rooftop tent. Went with a 2 metre by 2.5 metre awning, and I reckon that's it. Unfortunately, I'm not some big YouTuber who gets all this stuff given to him, so it took a few weeks, but it's all here. And now we got to put it on the $1,000 patrol. Let's get into it. Alright, so I've got it all off the back of the ute. How about we get it all unpacked? Alright, and just like that, we've got everything unpacked. With the drawers, I went with the 900s. I know that they do a set of 1070s for the GUs, but I want to put something in front of the actual drawers themselves. So I went with the 900s with the wings. Also bought 2 of the accessory panels. Comes with 2 cigarette ports as well as a USB port and a voltage display. We'll put one of those on the sides of the wings and then another one somewhere else around the car. With the 20-inch light bar, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it won't hurt having it somewhere to light up something. The rooftop tent, and then went the 12,000 pound winch, wired and wireless Dominator. A 2 metre by 2.5 metre awning. And then also a gazebo, which is not really a part of the car, and a 6-man annex. Let's start putting it in. Rightio. So I've got it placed up there. I still need to center it totally, and I've gone those little black plugs. They're supposed to be the factory mounts. It's clearly not going to work, as I'm assuming it's supposed to be intended to be rotated around like 90 degrees. So we're going to have it off the back so you can get access to fridge and whatnot with the 6-man annex below it. So I've just folded it out, set it up a little bit. Of course, it started to rain. Don't know how dark it's going to be in here, but that's what it looks like. It's got a ratchet strapped down for now, and then I'll drill some holes through it and after I center it and mount it. Alright, legends, so been down to the local Bunnings, and thanks to COVID they have got no stock of anything. So I got myself some 25mm gal U-bolts to suit like basically 25mm BSP water pipe. Thing is, it has got a ID of about 35mm between the U. The piping on that ARB rack is 27mm of the OD. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick them in the vise and give them a little pinch just to take up any slack that there might be. Unfortunately, I would have loved stainless, but you can only use what you can get, eh? Alright, so I've just, you saw me use them, or do. So you just saw me do those in the vise. You can see now, if it'll focus. I've got them sitting at about 28mm to ID. Just using those plates as a bit of a crush to keep them somewhat symmetrical and not all wonky. We'll now measure up the spacings and make sure it's square on the rack, drill them through and bolt it down. Good morning. Alright legends, so last night got pretty late and I finished mounting the rooftop tent. Used those U-bolts like I sort of showed you. Wrapped around the bar and then bolted it down through the top of the rooftop, or the bottom of the rooftop. And today we're going to move on to the winch. Just had a quick read through the user manual. Seems like a pretty straightforward install. Picking up those 4 forward facing mounts, using those bolts, slides in there, bolt through the front of the bar, and then I'm assuming the controller sits on top of the bar. So let's get it in. Alright, so I've just got the winch just sitting in there at the moment with the bolts done up hand tight. I've gone to put the fair lead in and it doesn't quite fit, so I'll give it a little trim just with the grinder so I can sit flush. I'll also take out the number plate number plate bracket and then tighten it all up. Does it fit? Oh yeah, it does. Beautiful. Alright guys, got to fast forward a couple of days. Reason is, at home I've had a block septic and I've had to fix it. I'm also a plumber. Well, I'm a plumber as a day job, and yeah, when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So the garage looks like a bomb's hit it still. Got drawers still here, Dominator. I think I left you off by fitting the winch. I think that was the last time you saw me. But that's now fitted. I need to wire it. And also, the parts for my drone came. I've only been waiting for them for donkey's years, but they finally came. I fixed it, and I'll show you the clip now of actually how I broke it. Me being not a very good videographer, but oh well. That's what you got to do. Knocked that plate out with just a normal hammer. Popped out pretty easy. Couple of taps and away it went. I'm going to mount the control box actually in here. That way it'll not stick out and look like balls. Alright, so I've just been tinkering around with how I'm actually going to mount the winch controller. It's not just a case of bolt in and away you go. With the wireless remote, I want to have enough clearance to still put this on. I don't know if I lower it right down in there and then put the wireless or the wired controller in, but I think it's going to be a bit hard to actually get it in there when you're on a track. So I'm going to have a tinker about and see what I can come up with. Alrighty, so to mount the winch control is get some 5mm flat stock, cut it into 90mm sections and probably just stack it 2 or 3 up. That'll space the control box up out of the top of the bull bar and allow the controller connection on there. So we'll cut 3 of them, drill a couple of holes in there at the width of the bar, the 2 holes in the bar, and we'll go from there. While I wait for the brackets to dry, I've just got some split corrie here that I'm going to put over the actives and negatives. I just don't want any rubbing on any parts of the bull bar. Throw some of that on. Always good to have a little bit of protection. Sweet, so got the controller mounted in just on those 2 brackets. Now I just need to wire it up. I'm not going to show you how to wire it up. There's 50 billion bloody videos on YouTube on how to wire up a winch, but I'll wire it up. I've tested the wireless controller adapter. That all works fine. It doesn't impede on the bull bar. Let's do it. Alright, don't hate me for it, but I cannot for the life of me get these post nuts off. So I'm going to order a set of new like distribution terminals for when the dual battery setup's done. But for now, that should give us power to our winch. Folks, let's give it a crack. Terminals are on, tightened. Plug the wireless in. Do a little bit of turn the battery on. Hey. There it is. Yeah, and I still haven't taken off the number plate bracket, but I'll do that now. And just need to tidy up some of the wiring and cable tie it all together. I ran it down through that bottom plastic eyelet down there. And a couple of cable ties here, there and everywhere. And she's done. Winch in.